Hello there, welcome to episode 30 of SWA Podcast. Today we're going to talk about the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view from the weekend just gone, and a bit of news this week. A few surprises on Raw and SmackDown, and also in the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm Reese, joining me as always is Harry. Say hello, Harry.
Hello, Reese, you alright?
All good, thank you. All good. Right. So, shall we just jump straight in?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's keep the show going.
Let's do it. Right. So, Elimination Chamber, hailing from the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. Don't know why I said that, but there you go. What are your overall thoughts on this pay-per-view?
First and foremost, it's refreshing for a WWE pay-per-view to be under 4 hours.
How long was it?
3 hours 15, and then you got the hour kickoff.
It was, but it was also there's also quite a lot of long matches. I don't know how you feel about that. Sometimes, although that's the kind of thing with Chambers, though, isn't it? They can't be anything less than half an hour, otherwise they're a bit silly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the timings involved for the 4 pods are gimmicked, like the Rumble picks. I think some of them were between 4 and 6 minutes. Speaking of which, the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view is pretty much bookended by 2 very, very good matches. The Cruiserweight match on the kickoff was exceptionally good. And the angle with Becky, Ronda, Charlotte, and I guess you can put Ruby in there by proxy was very good.
Well, she was there, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. The other matches, though, not terrible, but nothing spectacular either. And the Ruby Ronda match itself is it was like a piss take, really. I felt quite bad for Ruby.
Well, she got a 13-minute match the next night, which is strange, but we'll get to that.
Apparently, Ronda was very happy with Ruby, even though they only worked very minimal in the match at Chamber, so that's why they had the match on Raw.
Well, Ruby is well known to be quite good.
Yeah, she's solid. She's a very solid hand. Just because she's not had the opportunities as such on WWE. But no, she's good as gold.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so the first match was on the pre-show, as you mentioned. Buddy Murphy defended his Cruiserweight Championship. He beat Akira Tozawa, 30 minutes, 25. When I saw that, I was actually quite surprised that they got as long as 13 minutes. And yeah, I did watch this, actually, because Buddy Murphy is slowly getting a reputation for being pretty great on pay-per-view, even though he's usually always on the pre-show.
Mr. Kickoff.
Mr. Kickoff, yeah. Although, who was Mr. Kickoff? Was that what Dolph Ziggler called himself?
Probably. You could argue and say the New Day and Usos are also given those accolades as well, considering that they did it so many times and eventually they had no choice but to put them on the main show. Sorry, that's my phone. Yeah,
this was a good match.
It was very, very good.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those matches where you expect it to be good, but it's actually better. Some of the spots they did were just very impressive. Tozawa I think, is one of those unusual, underrated wrestlers, even though there's no reason for him to be underrated. I guess it's just the way they book 205 Live guys. And Buddy Murphy, I mean, Jesus, for a guy who literally had he had to fight to get this Cruiserweight spot in the first place, but he's literally just, turned a corner. And he's one of the most valuable players in that division.
Considering he got the title because he was the hometown guy in Melbourne. Is it Melbourne? Yeah, the MCG. He was the hometown guy in the big Australia show. Obviously, he's proving that he deserves that spot. Although you could argue he deserves a higher spot.
Yeah, exactly. But it's typical WWE where they cut your feet off or cut your legs off if you're under a certain weight limit. Which is, again, all the more crazy that someone like Mustafa Ali managed to move up, and why a guy thankfully, like Finn has not been pushed down as such. But no, these two, again, the Cruiserweight division is just, it's so poorly utilised. This really should have been on the main show itself. It's don't get me wrong, there's obviously a bigger audience on Kickoff because ultimately it's free on YouTube to watch these matches, but they just, again, it's like they put all this effort into these amazing spots and well-paced match, and it's like, they don't seem to get any recognition from it, but I love this match. Both guys were absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And this was definitely the third best match of this pay-per-view. And considering that the other 2 matches beating it are Elimination Chamber matches, like proper gimmicks, that is saying something.
this was my second favourite match on the card.
Oh, really? It was. Oh, that's okay.
I rated this higher than the next match we're going to talk about, which was the Tag Team Elimination Chamber match for the inaugural WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, which saw this is gonna be a long one. The Boss and Hug connection of Bayley and Sasha Banks. See what they did there with the rock and sock connection. You see,
doesn't ring off the tongue as well as rock and sock.
No, it doesn't. So Bayley and Sasha defeated Carmella and Naomi, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Nia Jackson, Tamina, the Iconics, and the Riot Squad. 33 minutes.
I thought you were going to read out. I thought you were going to read out all the nicknames for the other teams.
Nicknames? What are their nicknames?
Well, thanks to Michael Cole, we found out that Carmella and Naomi are Fabulous Glow.
All right.
Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose are Fire and Desire? ? And Nia Jackson, Tamina don't get a tag team name.
Oh well.
But they came out with a nickname which was Simone Slaughterhouse, which I thought was great, but then realised was like, oh shit, they're going to be like, oh no, the SS are really giving it to the women's division right now. So I was like, don't put it on a t-shirt.
Like when they called Paige's stable that time after a porn site.
Oh, what the fuck? A submission sorority.
Submission sorority, yeah.
Didn't they then name it Absolution? And it was like, best Muse album. Good choice.
And it was Absolution. And it isn't the best Muse album, but we move on.
It isn't. 45 years later. It's still whinge about. Sorry, go on.
So, yeah, Bayley and Sasha, surprising no one, really, that they'd win. I thought this match was good. Don't get me wrong. I didn't think it was bad. I did think it dragged a bit in the middle, and I thought the ending was really good. Like the final 5-10 minutes was quite well done. Yeah, it was good. It just I'm not a huge fan of opening a main card with a long match. That's just my personal taste. I know it's different, and obviously, if you've got 2 chamber matches on, you need to do this because you need to let the crowd go back down before they can come back up. Giggity. But yeah, this was good. I mean, just listing off those teams, you've got a good little future ahead of, they can go up against Carmella and Naomi. They can go up against Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, against Jackson, Tamina. I honestly wanted the Iconics to win it personally because I think I think they're great, and I quite like I love Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. I quite like that team. They've announced actually yesterday during the tapings that they will be defending this across all brands. So NXT teams, which could be interesting because you might get like an Io Shirai and Kairi Sane against the Boss and Hug Connection match, which would be really good. So yeah, it's promising. It's another title for the main roster. I don't know if the main roster needs another title. That's another discussion. But yeah, it's more promising main event kind of, or main push stuff for the women's division, which is obviously great as well. So yeah, what did you think?
I thought very similar opinion to yourself. I thought it was a very good match. Again, shocked as well that the Iconics were knocked out as quickly as they were. It's kind of been a thing with inaugural championships in the WWE, like in modern history, where they have the feel-good moment. Obviously, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, the Universal title, even the Cruiserweight title, I suppose, as well, although that was more of a shock because it was TJP.
Well, it wasn't a shock because we already knew who wasn't signing, so we knew who was going to win.
Yeah, exactly that. Similar to yourself as well. There's a lot of teams in this match, like as opposed to them being like thrown together. Obviously, you got Carmella and Naomi, which is not really a thing. I was very shocked at how much Deville and Mandy Rose were showcased, and I know this is going to sound really harsh, and it really shouldn't. But it's like, again, going to an earlier point, these two ladies have not really had a lot of opportunities inside the actual ring. And in this match, they were fucking great. Especially Rose. I mean, she's had this fucking... not really a fan of the storyline with her and Naomi. I
hate those storylines.
It's just like Attitude Era trash. No one really believes it.
I stole your husband.
Oh my god, she had 5 abortions. Seriously, that girl's had 5 abortions?
Lee Russo's back at WWE.
No, he's not. If you've not heard his podcast.
Not.
Bro, why won't they call me? I got so many ideas.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, no, again, it was predictable as fuck as Banks and Bayley winning. Again, like yourself, I would have preferred to have the Iconics win, but what you're going to do, brother? I was glad the match ran for as long as it did, because I know the big rumour in innuendo was the match was going to go for 45 minutes.
Oh, God.
I mean, obviously, by the time the bell ran, it was 15 minutes with all the introductions and stuff, and it was for 35 minutes, this match.
Mm.
But I think the final 2 teams, similar to the men's, the WWE Championship match, actually, the final 2 really had a lot of time to showcase.
Yeah.
And everyone did look quite strong, except, ironically, the Iconics. But that was more to do with their characters. Like, I love the bit where they're cowering in the pods, and you get that whopper fucking shot of both of them looking absolutely terrified, mugging for camera, and it looks so fantastic.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I really like this match. It was better than I expected it to be. And to be fair, I did have quite high hopes going into it. It's just I was more worried about the timing of it. But no complaints for myself.
Yeah. No, I agree. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Usos against The Miz and Shane McMahon for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship was next. Usos won. Jay and Jimmy. Which one was arrested in the week?
The opposite one of, I'm going to say Jimmy?
Jimmy is married to Naomi, right? Yeah, so yeah.
I think he's, so I think so.
But guess what? Their contracts are up, so they won.
I think it's more to do with the fact that the WWE is booking towards a Miz and Shane storyline at Wrestlemania, and this is a beginning of it.
That's probably when you apply logic, but when you apply dirt sheet news, it's because the Usos are going to leave and go AEW, brother.
Oh no, there's a daddy Rikishi. Sorry, I was about to do a JBL impression, but didn't bother.
Yeah,
Daddy Rikishi says they're going to be free agents and become like the greatest tag team in history, and it's like the 6-time world champions. It's like, what the fuck else? They're like literally one of the most successful teams ever.
Yeah, they are great.
They are fucking good. They'd be a massive. No offense, they would be a big loss to their tag team division, and they've been there for like a decade, haven't they? Or something stupid.
They've been there for a very long time, yeah.
Very long time. But no, it was. This was. I know this is going to sound silly, but it's like Shane McMahon did all of his big spots, and the match was competent, but it was like that crowd was fucked, absolutely dead.
Shane McMahon needs to stop, to be honest. But halfway through these matches, he looks like a fucking beetroot. He's blowing. He got quite badly injured, didn't he, last year? Like towards the end of last year, and you
forget he's got diverticular disease as well.
That's what I mean. It's just I don't particularly enjoy watching him wrestle.
I do, but I'm agreeing with yourself that literally the tag team titles are props in this storyline. It kind of demeans it for the Usos, considering that it's their 6th reign and it's a big deal. But ultimately, it's a prop for a separate storyline going into Mania. And it's like, the match was fine, but you could see what was happening from like a bleating mile away. Obviously, like yourself, like I know on the last episode you were like, predictions wise, you thought maybe Usos. I thought Usos would win. You had said Miz and Shane would win, and then they would continue storyline. But it's like it was so predictable as to what was happening.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But nothing inspiring in this match. But crowd's fucked. What the fuck were they supposed to do?
Actually, it reminds me, I need to have a look at our predictions and see who won.
I did. I not spoil it. I did.
No,
the only reason being, no. To be fair, the only reason I did was because you kept changing your predictions to basically spice up the predictions. So if you weren't such a mark for the fucking for the format of the game show, you would have a can of Coke. Whereas I'm sitting here with my Pepsi Max, bunged up to the fucking eyeballs, celebrating.
Hang on, I'm halfway through it. Oh no, hang on. Yeah, you did win. You won by 1.
It's because you
You went with Corbin. Anyway,
yeah, no, yeah. Exactly. You got the next match right though.
Yeah,
but what I was going to say is, the only major point of this was the fucking cross promotion between Miss or whatever the fuck their TV show, Miz and Maurice. They're expecting again. Very nice.
Oh yeah.
See you on USA Network.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, you won. I think you won 4-3.
Something like that. No shame, man. There's always Fastlane.
Whatever. Okay, moving on. Uh, Finn Balor defeated Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush for the IC title in a handicap match. Bit weird, but yeah, Finn's got himself the IC title. What do you
Yeah,
reckon about this?
match was okay. Crowd was fucking dead still.
It was dead still, yeah.
This crowd took about 2 hours of a 3-hour pay-per-view to recover in time for the final match. This match was fine. It's like fucking WWE have this weird thing with handicap matches where, like, even though the odds are stacked against it, usually the fucking lone person manages to come out on top.
Yeah.
Funniest one being, again, Shield and Punk. It made no sense back then. It makes little sense now. This match literally looks like a case of everyone's pissed off with Lio Rush, according to news. So make Lashes suffer.
Yeah.
Apparently he's rubbing people up the wrong way. But that's news, folks. Although he did do that fucking thing with Emma, which I thought was actually quite funny, but everyone else was like, that's so sad. Why would you say that?
Yeah, that got him heat before,
Nuclear heat.
Mm. Yeah, this match is just a bit of nothing, really. Obviously, it means Finn has got a belt, which is cool, and I kind of assumed he'd win this. In fact, I predicted it, but
yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, this I don't think this does a lot for the IC title, to be honest.
No, it doesn't. Again, that belt's fucking doomed at the moment. It's just, unless someone, like, makes it like what Cena did with the US title, or Reigns with the US title, just do open challenges, make it mean something to win, especially with now Brock fucked off until Mania.
Yeah.
But match was meh.
It was meh. But yeah, I mean, all I can see happening now is Finn defending the IC title in probably a multi-man match at WrestleMania, because I did run through a kind of fantasy booked card, or not even fantasy, it was just kind of how it might be shaping up the other day, and I got to like fucking 14 matches, and there was so many people that were just relegated to the Andre the... I know that's what happens at Mania these days, but yeah, God knows what happens with this belt now, but it's cool to see Finn get something.
Yeah. I don't think he's not Triple Crown champion as of yet. He still needs to win a tag team title.
Yeah. And it was the Universal and not the WWE. So if you want to be a stickler,
which we done, I don't give a fuck.
Right then, well, Ronda Rousey against Ruby Riott, WWE Raw Women's Championship. This went a whopping 1 minute 40 seconds. Ronda obviously won with an armbar, but obviously it was all about the post match. Charlotte was at ringside watching Ronda because, that is still apparently the official match at WrestleMania.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Becky, who is suspended and was technically part of the audience, clambered down to the ringside on crutches, hopped the barrier, wasn't tackled by security.
You're not going to stop the man.
No, but
that's my storyline. You don't fuck with a man.
They tried to stop Ron Gronkowski that time, didn't they? Rob Gronkowski, sorry. So,
yeah, that's because they legitimately thought he was a fan.
So
he's a 6'8" fucking American football player. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So she then proceeded to waffle the bollocks out of both of them with her crutches.
Oh, Becky, you're so good at wrestling. Why are you so good at wrestling?
And she's like proper fucking smash the shit out of them as well.
Yeah, I know, but you have to make it look fucking real. Otherwise, people won't buy into it. And fucking, to be fair, Charlotte's arm absolutely mangled.
I was going to say,
head fucking looks like something out of like, well, you don't see blood on WWE anymore unless Brock's in the match. But Jesus, a fucking head, like proper airline cut on there.
Hard way,
looked
right?
Great. Yeah. Well, you're not going to. She didn't bleed, did she?
No. But yeah, I thought that was cool. It's obviously building, isn't it, to what will be the triple threat match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a fan. The match itself, dud. The angle itself, fan-fucking-tastic. Yeah, Becky's just on an absolute fucking tear. Actually, to be fair, all three women in this angle have been on a fucking tear for like at least since the Rumble. So, thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. I just Mania. Do you reckon they'll main event Mania? Because there has been some talk that Vince has lost his bottle a bit, and it isn't. Although it seems as though people are talking about it as though it's guaranteed to headline, it's not guaranteed to headline. I think it'd be ridiculous if it doesn't. But
The old man will pick it literally on the fucking Sunday morning, and even then it'll be at the last minute. I think even Seth and Brock doesn't really have much momentum going into it whatsoever at the moment.
Especially
WWE
when you
title,
consider there's no build so far for it.
no, they're fucked because Seth's still technically injured, so they're just having to do promos. WWE title, as of this pay per view, hilariously, is much more interesting, even though we have no idea what direction they're going into.
We'll get to that.
But yeah, we'll get to it. But as of the moment, if you're going to have to pick one of the three, yeah, it should be the main event by quite a distance. It would literally be at this point either both men's world championships really have to turn up a gear, but at the moment they don't seem to be doing that.
Yeah, it's interestingly poised, you can say.
I would definitely say the WWE Championship, the way it's going, should supersede the Universal title, even though again it's the Rumble winner who should really be like the more superior of the two brands.
Yeah, but
they've had to go through more.
Think of the last two Rumble winners and their position.
I know, that's exactly. I know exactly. That's exactly the point.
And their position on the card. So
but technically, both were SmackDown winners, and Vince doesn't give a fuck about SmackDown until Fox gets the show.
October, yeah, you're right.
Not until October, but we'll see. Speaking of matches, no one gives a fuck about.
Oh God. To be fair, it's correctly placed.
Yeah, this is a piss
on the card.
I feel very fucking sorry for Strowman, and I do feel sorry for Corbin to a lesser extent, but this was a piss break.
Yeah, of course it was a piss break. I think the reason to feel sorry for Braun is more to do with the fact that it appears that his push is pretty much non-existent, really. I'd guess. Yep. I mean, who knows? But yeah, so no disqualification match. Baron Corbin defeats Braun Strowman. This got a whopping 10 minutes, 50 seconds. And it ended when Drew McIntyre and Lashley heeled out with Corbin, and they did a Shield triple powerbomb on Braun.
Yeah, that would be very suspicious if circumstances regarding Roman and Dean were not as devastating. Very suspect, to be fair.
I really, really, really hope this isn't going to be a fucking 6-man at Mania, just so he can get all 6 blokes into a match that will probably get less than 10 minutes.
Probably. That's what Mania is nowadays. Everyone gets a pay slip regardless of whether or not the match is totally necessary.
But could you imagine if if it was Corbin, Lashley and Drew against, say, Braun, Dean. And, I don't know, Kurt. Probably, yeah, because Kurt's got history with them, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
Yep. Sounds so awful, it's probably true. Yeah, no, I don't give a fuck about this. Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman seem to have had multiple matches. They don't really have a lot of chemistry. Some of the punches that Corbin were doing was just like absolute shit.
So they just need to.
And I know he's a boxer as well. That's the other hilarious thing, because I know boxers have a fucking terrible time adjusting to wrestling because they have to pull their punches. But
yeah, and Jesus also Christ. Connected to that, CM Punk always said that he found it really hard throwing actual punches when he was training MMA because he was so used to throwing work punches.
Yeah. That's exactly the point.
Yeah.
This match, fucking hell, we had shortcuts and everything, and I know it's a piss break, folks, but it's like it was so simplistic.
The Braun Strowman thing's very interesting in that he was taken out of the main event, not main event, but he was taken out of the title match against Brock at Royal Rumble because they didn't want to beat him because he'd been beaten too much, and now he's jobbing out to fucking Corbin, albeit on a 3-on-1 beatdown, but still.
I suppose in Vince's crazy mind, he'll think, well, Strowman will get that win back at Mania at some point.
Well, he got the win. He got the win back on Raw the next night.
Well, that's exactly the point. There's no fucking forward thinking because he does this ridiculous fucking 50-50 booking, which gets no one over. It's so fucking arse backwards.
Yeah. Anyway, less said about that, the better. We move on to an incredibly rare WWE title main event.
Oh no, fucking hell.
AJ Styles has main evented a pay-per-view.
And he's not even champion. I know, it's ridiculous.
Wow. So the WWE title Elimination Chamber match. So it was Bryan up against Styles, Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston. Mustafa Ali is out with concussion issues, I believe. So Kofi's in.
Yep.
and Kofi is turning heads. Well, he's always been great, but he's always been a good hand.
Kofi's always been great for 10 years, but he's too nice for his own good.
So he's getting a little push here. Well, obviously due to Mustafa Ali's being injured, but these things happen. And Randy Orton and Samoa Joe, he's fat. Interestingly, Daniel Bryan. Well, it's not interesting that Daniel Bryan defended his title because that's kind of what we both predicted. But he ran the whole gauntlet. He started at number 1, or as part of the first 2, and he won.
I know, it's mad that this guy this time last year was only just, I think, either announced or was announced getting ready to come back.
Yeah.
A year later, he's done a 180 on his character. He's now fucking heel. He's WWE champion, and he's now the fucking workhorse. Despite the fact that I know for a fact they give him these fucking like Pythagoras theorems after each match to make sure his fucking brain's still functioning properly.
Oh, like a concussion.
But Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan, Jesus Christ, he's so good.
He's great, and I love this character. I love this, environmental wanker. Yeah, it's great. I love the fucking title belt.
Oh yeah, they can make a killing on that. Literally, WWE in their troll way would be like, "Is a recyclable WWE title. It'll biodegrade in 3 years' time because of the natural resources used into it. You have to buy another one."
Then it'll be made by some 4-year-old child in Bangladesh who's getting paid 2p a day. So 'cause they always have to claw their horrible corporate ways back, don't they? So
it's true, actually.
So yeah, Brian. Is it Brian and Joe that started?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was. So
I didn't write extensive notes. Sorry.
Brian and Joe started. Kofi came in at 3. AJ was 4. Jeff was 5, and Blandy Borton was 6 because he won the gauntlet that they actually did on SmackDown.
Notice that all the former TNA World Champions were eliminated first.
Were they?
I think so.
Joe was. Joe was first, I believe.
Oh, was he really? Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Joe was eliminated first by AJ. Then Jeff was eliminated by Brian. AJ was eliminated by Orton.
There you go.
Orton was eliminated by Kofi. And Kofi was eliminated by Brian, winning the match 36-40. I thought this was a really well planned out chamber. It didn't really feel 36 minutes long.
No, and I think the other thing is, again, similar to the ladies' tag team match, the final segment was the most well-paced, and it obviously took the most amount of time, I want to say. Kofi and Daniel must have had, 10 minutes to themselves, maybe?
And they had 12 minutes, yeah.
Oh, jeez. It was a good 12 minutes, though.
It was good, and Kofi did kick out of one of the most protected finishers on the main roster, so...
Yeah,
which is a big deal.
Is it now time to have the discussion as to whether or not Kofi Kingston is now a legitimate, proper, should be considered a major contender for possibly getting in the main event of WrestleMania?
So, I'll give you my 2 cents, and you can give your 2 cents.
Go nuts. Let's do it.
I think he will. They'll have a cracking match at Fastlane because that was announced on SmackDown. And I think it'll be great. But Brian will go over and he won't be in the WrestleMania main event. But I think, and this is putting a lot of faith in the people that book these shows, I think you could probably make a good run at him maybe getting something later down the line. Maybe he wins. You know what? Money in the Bank's coming up. Fucking let him win that. Seriously, why not? And he's such a face. Let him cash it in at something like SummerSlam and build up to something. I think I don't personally see Bryan v Kingston as a Mania match. I would love to see it. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it will happen. I think you could probably use this momentum for Kofi and maybe build him up for something later in the year. Hell, I can build him up to win the Rumble or something. Who knows? But, I just don't think it'll happen. How about yourself?
Myself? I think it's a case of maybe, well, not maybe, strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you were to say 2 weeks ago, like, oh, Kofi Kingston's going to be in in the main event of Elimination Chamber, and he's going to be the most over guy in the match, and that includes Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Daniel Bryan himself, it'd be fucking ridiculous. But I know this is probably gonna make this episode sound horrifically dated, so I'm prepared to laugh. This reminds me a lot of Guerrero and Lesnar. Guy who literally, seems to have come out of nowhere, but for whatever reason, fans have got really fucking behind him. And I think maybe it is a case of strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah,
I would say he's got a lot of momentum into him as well. So obviously, Fastlane's a good supplement if he's not going to be in the main event of WrestleMania, or sorry, the championship match at WrestleMania. But the crowd's really behind him, and ultimately, that's what Vince has always wanted: just fucking people to connect with the crowd. He's been there for fucking forever, Kofi.
Yeah,
and the crowd really likes him. Obviously, his entire history of the company has been the spot guy for the ladder matches, rumble matches, basically anything that involves a gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
He's well respected. The crowd obviously does appreciate him and thinks it's, he's long overdue some sort of major title thing. I can't remember his last singles title run. It was probably fucking...
Oh, I'm going to guess it was
years ago.
Isn't he dropped the US title to Dean when the Shield first blew up? Maybe that was his last singles title.
Maybe, but that's at least 5-6 years ago. But I think with all the momentum he's got and the crowd support, give him the fucking belt. There's still if it's a mistake, then obviously Daniel could get his rematch at WrestleMania and just put the belt back on fucking Daniel, and then just say it was. Daniel could always push it and say it's a hiccup, in my journey of becoming, Captain Planet.
I'll give you a booking. I'll give you a fantasy booked Mania. And
beyond. Go on. I'll give you my one afterwards. Go on.
All right, go on. So
my one. Go on. Do you want to do yours first?
I'll go first.
Go on.
Brian will go up against John Cena at WrestleMania.
God.
Cena is supposed to be booked with Lars. Lars has gone AWOL, apparently. So it's not just that he's having panic and anxiety issues. He's also apparently just gone AWOL. Yeah. So I doubt very much that that's going to happen. So John Cena is free. I would do John Cena vs Daniel Bryan. And fuck it, I'd let Cena go over. I'd let him just break that record. Because, in my older age, I love John Cena.
Like all people.
I'd have Cena, because he's probably not going to stick around too long. I'd have Cena defend the belt a few times on SmackDown or Raw, wherever he ends up after the shake-up, if that was to happen. And then I would, if you want to include Kofi, I would probably do something like have Kofi win Money in the Bank, and then as a face, he'll cash it in for a match. He'll maybe win it off of John Cena, and then maybe Brian wins it back off him. Or Brian then wins Money in the Bank, and he literally gets it off of Kofi after he defeats John Cena clean. There you go. That's what I'd do.
Okay.
What would you do?
Mine would be at Fastlane. Obviously, it's Kofi and Daniel. Have Daniel retain the title via shenanigans. You've obviously got fucking Rowan there. Again, I'm still under the impression that there must be more people coming into this whatever group, whatever they're going to call this group. They need a name. They always need branding. Have there be some sort of either triple threat or fatal four-way for the WWE title at Mania?
Oh, no.
If Cena is... I know, but fuck it. Might as well. Have Kofi go over at Mania. Make it a big fucking thing. Say he's been in the company for 10 years and this is like a crowning achievement for him. Have him hold the title for until a few months down the line, and this is where it goes a bit ape shit. Have New Day break up.
Right.
Have probably Big E would probably be most suspect. Have him turn heel, break up the dynamic of the group. Say he's been pissed off, feels like he's been carrying the weight and doesn't feel respected or something. Or even Xavier for that matter, because he could say he was the brains behind everything.
Right.
He said his only goal was to, fantasy booking wise, he said his only goal was to make sure Kofi was to be WWE champion or a heavyweight champion. And he can say his now goal is to take that championship off him. And then you've got that's 6 months worth of storylines if you can stretch it, or 3 weeks of storylines if you're SmackDown writers.
You would have the New Day have a freeway main event feud.
At some point, we could do.
Interesting, yeah.
They did it with Shield. The New Day they've been around for nearly as long. And you got to wonder how many times, that group. They must still sell merch, but on the other hand, it's like if you had a championship opportunity in the middle of it, what the fuck does it do for the other two characters? But then, who knows? I still, cynical me thinks that it's going to be a case of this is little Kofi's, little last hurrah, and then they'll move on to bigger things. But who knows? They keep saying, what's the rumor in innuendo? Someone big is coming back for Daniel, and it's like, who the fuck is it?
Yeah, so Meltzer is saying that it's a returning superstar. His list that he reeled off on Observer Radio was, let me remember this. It was Owens, Zayn, Cena, Taker.
What?
And maybe that was it. Maybe there was another one or two. I can't remember.
Maybe Kofi could be injected afterwards, because I remember that was a thing. Because obviously plans change, pal. But I don't even know if Owens is supposed to be heel or face from his promos. Like, it's goofy, but on the other hand, it's like, if it's goofy, is it supposed to be funny, or are we supposed to be laughing at him because he's so pathetic? I don't know the direction of this character.
Yeah. Also,
I'm not 10 years old and I don't understand.
If there is truth that Vince is genuinely fucked off about Undertaker doing Starcast, then that could be an incentive for him to.
See that I'll steal this idea from someone over on the Squared Circle. If Vince is now getting his fucking purse out and going like, all right, get fucking back here, you can have your fucking match at WrestleMania. What if it's Undertaker and Cena this time legit? As opposed to 2 minutes 30 seconds.
I did think that would be that. I would enjoy that, to be honest.
Like, it'd be an easy sell. Just say Cena's wasn't the same since last year's WrestleMania. He's had an off year. All we can keep thinking about is how he fucking tried to bring the dead man to WrestleMania, and it fucking blew up in his face. And now he wants to prove to the world that it was just a one-off fluke. Easy peasy. They won't do that though. I think Vince would rather pay $250,000 or whatever the fucking stupid amount to have Taker sit at home and not talk about backstage bollocks at Starcast.
Well, as of recording, he is still on Starcast, so
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's still plenty of time. Again, as we've always joked about these episodes, we're going to horribly date them with week-to-week updates.
He charges $60,000 for 3 hours work. Undertaker does.
Well.
25 is $25,000 for an hour, or $60,000 for 3 hours. You do the math.
Well, if people are going to pay it, fuck it. You got to make a living somewhere, man.
That's so expensive.
Fuck, well, people pay for it. People pay $150 or £150 for a fucking autograph.
That they did. They sold out.
I know. Well, if you've got the disposable income to pay it, fuck it. All more power to you. If you value yourself at $60,000 for 3 hours work and people fucking pay it, you fucking take the $60,000.
I believe his prices for the UK thing is £70 for a ticket which gets you an autograph. I could be wrong. And then the first photo option was $150, and then there's a two photos, an autograph, and something else for $350, and they all sold out.
If you've got a disposable income and you want to use it, then more fucking power to you. It's not my cup of tea, personally.
As someone, I did see someone mention an Undertaker's autograph on collectible stuff is quite rare. He doesn't do a lot of this stuff. Yeah.
No, because again, it's like the only time you really would have had a proper chance is probably. No offense, he's probably been a few WrestleMania accesses.
Yeah.
But the only time you would have really had a chance was probably prior to 2004, when suddenly the WWE took a big interest in protecting his mystique.
True.
I think that's what's. That's all. Again, there's so much room in the innuendo about this fucking Starcast appearance.
Innuendo.
Rumor and innuendo says that Vince McMahon has pissed his pants at how much Undertaker wants to come and make some money. But who the fuck knows?
Yeah. Right then, that's Elimination Chamber. Nice.
Yeah, it was fine, yeah. It was at least short, thank fuck.
Yeah. So, Misk News. Generation X are going into the Hall of Fame, including China, which has divided opinion, because some people are pleased that she's getting in, and some people are still pissed off that she won't go in as a singles.
But they've said that this gives her the opportunity to go in as a singles person anyway. So
I personally think the whole inducting a group and then still being able to induct individuals is total bollocks.
yeah, I do as well. Like having no offense to Flair, but Flair in fine. 4 Horsemen in as a group. Yeah, I kind of nah. Why can't all 4 members be?
Why the fuck can't Arn Anderson be in on his own? Why the fuck can't Triple H isn't going to go in, but did they induct? I'm sure they inducted the Clique as a group, right?
I think they have, which means technically Triple H can go in 3 times because he can go in as DX and himself.
He could go in as the corporation. He could go in as the authority. He could go in as himself.
Evolution.
You tell it like is The Rock in the Hall of Fame? He's not, is he? Oh, is he?
No, he is. Yeah, he is. I think he is.
I always thought he said if he would go in it once he's finished 100% finished wrestling. I could be wrong.
He went in before one of the mainers. I think he did anyway.
Well, he could go in as the Nation of Domination himself, the Rock and Sock. It's just the corporation.
To answer your question, I don't think he is actually.
Yeah, I'm sure he's one of those. I think he's a bit like Taker in that he won't go in it until he's fully done. But yeah.
I thought he was, yeah. Tell a lie. Sorry.
So yeah, it's cool. Obviously, her post WWE career got a bit odd towards the end.
Got a bit fucking dark. Let's not beat around the bush.
Yeah, it did. What was it? One night in China, then another night in China, then I didn't realise she did some New Japan stuff. You ever seen any of that?
No, I have heard of it though. And obviously there's the infamous she was in TNA for like a cup of coffee as well.
Cup of coffee in TNA. Yeah, and then obviously she did more porno, literally just before she died. So, yeah, you can see why people find it a bit odd. But it's
not just a case of she was in porn, it's a case of the fucking... I don't think people fucking say what type of porn it was in.
Well, she was in.
She's literally
hardcore pornography.
No, but she's in like a fucking.
Oh, you mean? Are you not wanting to glorify this?
I don't want to. I don't know. I know what it is, but I just don't want to say.
You're referring to the one where she basically gangbangs all the lookalikes of the wrestlers.
Yeah, which also includes
Vince, Triple H,
Trips,
Iron Sheik, I believe.
For some reason, I want to say Austin.
Oh, who knows? But yeah, you're right.
The proverbial who's who of, oh my god, my childhood is getting absolutely fucking molested.
Well, yeah.
Bottom line,
she obviously died quite young.
Yeah.
Was it drugs?
Don't get me wrong. It's fucking tragic what happened to her in the business. Of course it is. Stuff. But devil's advocate, it's their fucking Hall of Fame, and look who runs the fucking company.
Well, I know that. That's always that's what it all comes down to. But I think it's nice that they're being inducted. Who's inducting her? Oh well, I suppose it's not who's inducting her. It'll be
is inducting them.
What they say about. I'm sure Triple H will say something. He brought her in.
Of course, they'll be polite and stuff. They have no real choice at this point because of all the fucking Twitter warriors out there.
Mm. Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I knew the moment they announced it. I knew people would be pissed off that she's not individually announced to go in. But ultimately, it's their fucking Hall of Fame. And I know people will say it's all she ever fucking wanted. But ultimately, the actions that she took outside of the WWE ring, I know people are desperate for money and stuff. And ultimately, you could just say it's just porn, but it's their fucking company, and it's how they have to relate that to fucking stock, holders and stuff.
True.
And the excuse of Triple H is like, I don't want my fucking kids googling that shit, and it's like, no.
He did say that. He said that a couple of years ago, didn't he? Yeah.
He is, yeah, and there is that as well, obviously. And ultimately, they're a publicly traded organisation.
Mm.
There will be someone on the other end of that who's going like, why the fuck is this hardcore pornographic actress getting into the WWE Hall of Fame? Please bear in mind, I've only just invested in the company 5 minutes ago, and I'm insane.
Well, Sonny's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know, but that was them offering an olive branch, saying like, "Come back, we'll put you in the Hall of Fame. You can be, go around tours. Just please get clean." And she basically took the opportunity and then fucked them over.
Well, to be fair, she did the porn after the Hall of Fame stuff. Yeah.
Didn't she wear the ring?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't want to know.
I don't know. I don't want to know either.
OSW reviewed it, but
Oh
I
yeah,
can't.
I was going to say OSW. OSW will cover that.
I can't bring myself to watch it. To be perfectly honest with
you, watching it behind the couch.
I
very needing to take a cold, but I'm going to steal one of their quotes. I think it's V1's wife was watching it with him, and she said, I think she said, "What do you call it? Don't fucking touch me." during this, it must have been absolutely fucking grim.
I will listen and watch those blokes talk about anything wrestling related because they're great, but I will not watch them review pornography. I just won't.
Nah, fuck, nah.
Right, enough of the porno.
I knew this podcast. 30th episode, we've now descended into the
porn.
Fucking porn, brother.
Right, this week's been interesting on Raw and SmackDown because, Gargano, Ciampa, Aleister Black, and Ricochet have all debuted on Raw and SmackDown, and they were at the tapings for NXT last night. Gargano and Ciampa are on Raw and SmackDown as DIY, and Ricochet's there. They're all winning. They've all won on both brands. The word is that basically Vince just wants. He thinks that part of the rating decline is because there aren't enough stars on the show. So he basically said, "Who are the top 4 guys in NXT? Bring them up." And looks like they're going to get a pretty mega push. So we'll see what happens. But it's
until the old man gets bored with them and then fucking kills them off and then wonders why he can't make stars.
It's all very interesting. At one point, Ciampa was described. I don't know if it was Cole or Phillips. Can't remember which show. He was described as a pit bull, which is actually which is Vince talk for small. So yeah,
and
interesting.
Aleister Black was described as moody.
Oh God.
And they're wondering why these fucking guys don't get over when their fucking commentary, which to be fair is literally Vince's mouthpiece, come out with that fucking nonsense.
Fucking was it Michael Cole kept talking about how Aleister Black has a story for every one of his tattoos, so you just know that's what he's gonna parrot every fucking time you see him. Man.
That's Vince though. Don't shoot messenger.
Oh no, I know.
Cole has proven multiple times he's a highly competent commentator, and it's fucking Vince. It's the man pulling the puppet strings.
I know, but it's still annoying.
I still remember that UK tournament with him and McGuinness, and it was like, holy shit, Michael Cole is like top tier WWE commentator. Where the fuck has this guy been for the last 20 years? And it's like, oh, of course Vince didn't travel across the pond. That's why. You
ever heard the recorded audio of Michael Cole and Vince?
Are you sure you want me to say? Because I feel like I've mentioned it like 5 fucking times. Yep. Yes, sir.
Vince.
I understand, sir.
Vince, I've already said that. Do you want me to say it again? You do? Okay.
Yes, sir. I understand, sir. Yes, sir.
Remember, you know, like these WWE 24 documentaries about manias. Vince is pretty much exclusively only ever shown at Gorilla.
Yeah.
Sitting next to the agent who booked the match, basically, that they're doing. And he's got his headset on, and you know for a fact that he is just talking. He is feeding Michael Cole everything.
Say big dog.
That is how he does it.
Say lunatic fringe.
Yeah, well, it is. Say burn it down.
That was actually a good idea, though, to be fair.
What a maneuver!
He doesn't use that voice. He doesn't use that voice anymore.
Thank fuck. Him verbally sucking off Shawn Michaels in the mid-90s.
Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that joke again.
Oh, something you can't. When you hear it now, you just... Oh, it's so bad.
Oh, no. He doesn't use the voice anymore. It's just he's gravelly, needs a fucking straight drink to clear his throat, but won't.
I think he's too old to do the voice now.
He's too old to be fucking booking, but the man, he will be doing it until he's dead, and even then they'd probably have to check his corpse to make sure he's still not doing it.
So what do you think? NXT stars... It wasn't they didn't do an invasion angle, they just did a kind of... Yeah, it would have been interesting if they did.
Cynical means like this just kind of screams desperation there. It's like, the idea of I fucked over my entire roster which is fucking jammed, packed at the moment, and now I need to bring up 4 guys and then put them on all 3 shows. I mean, obviously they've taped NXT to the fucking wazoo until I think at least the middle of March.
I think there's one more set of tapings before New York.
I mean, fuck. And the best bit as well is...
Go on.
Sorry, go on. No, sorry, go on.
I was going to say the interesting thing is that if he thinks that his roster is too beaten up and not is
Damaged.
is damaged because of the sagging ratings, the only person he can blame is himself, because most of those people. Well, it's like Elias, right? I think of Elias and I think at one point it was said that they were going to push him big and he had a big heel thing. And then one day he went face and then he went back to being heel. They're booking him into oblivion. Braun is fucking fucked right now. Corbin gets so much TV time, it astounds me. Dean was so pissed off of his booking, he's off. Seth is a fucking workhorse and is basically out with an injured back because he's just wear and tear. Not to mention the previous 2 Manias, he's had 2 very serious knee injuries. So
he was there last year. So
but it was with a knee injury.
He's always injured though now.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. Because he's a workhorse and he did shitloads in the Indies, he did shitloads in Ring of Honor, he was great on NXT and FCW, whatever. That's just how he's going to break. This is what happens with wrestlers, especially people that work the way he does. Finn has no real credibility. He had a great match with Brock, sure, but then
that was literally because Brock picked him because he knew he was a small guy and he could work with him.
But then he gets put in a feud with Leo Rush,
That's Vince though. Fuck, he just doesn't. I don't think he views anyone on that roster other than probably Brock and when Reigns was there as major stars. Everyone else is just like fucking pieces, and that's it.
Owens has been out for a while, and his current vignettes for coming back are him being clumsy and talking about pineapple on pizza.
God, that fucking one on the was it Kickoff or the actual show itself?
Eating popcorn, or was that the
no?
raw
He was eating pineapple on pizza. Like, I don't know why they order it, and he's eating it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I don't get it.
With him?
Is he heel again? I don't understand. Is he heel or is he supposed to be funny? Like funny how? How is he amusing me?
Am I a clown?
He is a bit of a clown, but we love Kevin.
But remember when he debuted with Cena, and he
prize
was a monster.
Fighter,
fucking awesome.
Kills Cena kills Cena first appearance, stamps on the US title, fuck USA, raises the NXT title, and beats him clean on first appearance.
Fucking
now
awesome.
Look at him. He's talking to his. To be fair, his son Owen is so. That was quite funny in the vignette.
Named after
Owen Hart. Oh, that was a good old trivia. Get us on a trivia team so we can fucking bomb horrifically. But again, Kevin Owens, fuck's sake, it's just again. I don't get this. This screams desperation. This is like fling everything at the fucking wall, pray something sticks, and then ruin it anyway.
What the fuck have they done to Drew McIntyre?
4 months ago, it looked like the guy was ready to break out away from Dolph Ziggler and become like a megastar. He's now part of some sort of fucking second-hand League of Nations knockoff fucking thing.
Yeah, but it wasn't even addressed on Raw.
That's what I mean. What the fuck's going on? What is going on? And Lashley, again, I know he's old, but he can still tear it up. And it's like he's a fucking nobody on that roster.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the arse pats thing was quite funny after the first month or so, but he's literally just stuck in the mid-card. But this is like again, you can easily blame this on the fact that there's a ceiling on Raw, and it's like it's the fucking there's no obtainable goal until Brock decides to come back and he decides he wants to wrestle a small guy.
Yeah. Seriously, I'm so interested in October with SmackDown and Fox and
it's going to be
what
great.
they actually do.
They're not going to do fucking anything different. That's going to be the best bit. They'll change for about a week. The ratings will be exactly the same. And if Was it yourself who said Fox are expecting it to be 4? That must be bollocks. There's no way on earth WWE's going to turn it around.
I think so. But remember, they started off by saying, yeah, this is every Friday for 4 or 5 years, whatever the deal is. And then after I think they actually saw the ratings, they were like, well, initially it's going to be on live on Fridays, and there's already some creeping doubts in there by the sounds of it. But whatever, we'll see.
There's no fucking way they're going to get double share of their audience in the space of whatever fucking time. Wrestling, the TV has changed dramatically since the fucking late 90s.
See, the thing is that one of the issues is that watching a SmackDown or Raw live isn't as appealing as DVRing it, or as we like to say in England, recording it, and watching it, and just watching it at your leisure. So you basically fast forward. I mean, we can't watch Raw live. It's on at 1 a.m. on a Monday morning. Not going to happen. Sorry, a Tuesday morning. On a Tuesday morning, it's just not going to happen. No. So, that's the thing. They don't care about the rating here, although the ratings here I mean, whenever I hear it, it's like 20,000, I think. It used to be like 500,000. Can you believe that? It used to be 500,000.
I know, but that was because it used to be on... It was like a big fucking... It was wrestling in the 90s. It was a big fucking thing at the time. But things have changed now. I mean...
Yeah, but in the 90s, we used to get it on Friday nights.
I know, and it was fucking great. Nowadays, you can technically get it anywhere online, and wrestling is just not as engaging anymore. So it's always been technically a niche thing. Now it really is. It's that hardcore audience like us that have stuck with it. It's not expanding, so I don't know what... Unless Fox know in their heart and hearts that they just want the core audience, which is that 1.5 million, that golden number where they can just try and sell fucking advertisements to them. But if they're not going to get higher numbers. Yeah. The product is not going to pull a fucking 180 and suddenly get like, oh, we've done This Is Your Life segment. It's got an 8.4. Or Undertaker and Austin have had a fucking WWE title match and it's got a 9 point fucking whatever, the most ridiculous number imaginable. It just ain't going to happen, folks. There's too much entertainment out there.
That'll put butts on seats.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's the thing. That Undertaker Austin after King of the Ring, where Austin re-wins the title. That's the highest rated segment in wrestling history. It's not fucking This Is Your Life. Gets on my fucking nerves. They keep.
You mean Austin Kane?
No, Austin Undertaker. After King of the Ring 99.
Oh, 99, okay.
That's the highest rated. It's not This Is Your Life. That fucking 20-minute piece of shit that's like... It was probably funny when it was in 98, but it's fucking...
I was never a fan of that. I think I remember...
No, I weren't either. But,
off, yeah.
But they've spun it into like a fucking legend. Like, Vince was screaming, but we got the high ratings. It's like, it's so fucking shit. I'm surprised Vince didn't chew everyone out and fucking fire everyone on the spot. Anyway, Bottom line, Fox probably knows what they're doing. Hilarious if they don't. Tune into us because we'll probably have a good laugh at it.
Yeah, and good luck to the NXT guys. It's so far so good. They're getting a push, but we'll see if the old man gets bored.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he probably saw that Ciampa Sheamus spot and was like, "Oh, god damn it, Paul! It's another fucking spot." Look at it.
Wasn't great, was it? Yeah.
Looks scary. Shocked no one's got fucking absolutely maimed during it. Well, again, it's poor Sheamus as well.
Ciampa's knees, the thing that buckles.
Big dog's fucked, I know, but Sheamus lands on his fucking... Nothing to take a fucking £230 man's knee to your back when you're falling down. It's not exactly a fucking comfortable situation. Probably better than the WWE ring, though, to be fair.
Yeah. Right then. I think that brings an end to this week's episode.
Yeah, it was either that or talk about Corey.
Let's leave Corey out of the fucking wanker.
Nah, that'd be nasty.
Yeah. Right then. Thank you for listening. You can catch us on the usual places, SWA_podcast on Twitter, soundcloud.com/smartsforattitude, and YouTube, Smarts for Attitude on YouTube. And we're on iTunes and Podbean and all those things. So thank you for listening. Take it easy and toodaloo.
See you guys.